Welcome to week one of the course Missiology and Contextualization at Northwest Nazarene University. This is going to be a great 7 weeks. I'm glad you're on board. This first week begins with the need for you to introduce yourself through a brief autobiography. Follow instructions on what's being asked for that autobiography. There are written as well as a small video. The second requirement is, of course, that of reading a chunk of the required reading for the week and then writing a response to it. Again, there are specific instructions. There's a grading rubric. Use that as a checklist as you kind of prepare that report. Then the third thing for this week is that of what we call a special project. There will be a different one each week. The project for this week is that of coming up with 2 sermon ideas about how a particular church and individuals can and must get involved in the task of world evangelism. This course is to take us to look at the global task. Evangelizing one's neighbor is a small part of that. This is trying to push you to look at what does it mean to carry out Christ's Great Commission to make disciples in the nations. Then the third thing during the week is going to be a requirement for at least six response posts in which you will respond to your classmates, the various things they post, whether it be assignments or whether it be a response to a response, and thus creating a thread or a discussion around a particular topic. The week will then end with your doing a kind of a wrap-up end of the week summary or reflection. That's a little different from the reading reflection will center on your reading. The end of the week can look at a variety of things. It can look at the special projects, the discussions that have gone on, variety of things. Some things that may have been said in the general discussion area where you can respond and get credit for your discussion posts as well. Now, as you look at what's required of you the week, each week will have a to-do list at the top of that week in Moodle. That just is a kind of a checklist for you to look. Okay, I got to do this, got to do that, got to do that. There are links in that to-do list to instructions for each of the items. That's just a kind of an additional help to you or additional checklist for those who like checklists. Well, it's going to be a great 7 weeks together. I'm looking forward to it. It's time, I think, for us to get started.